received an email promising you a large sum of money if you invest in a once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity? Well, that would be known as a 419 scam. Now, we have SABRIC CEO Kalyani Pillay back in studio to discuss what exactly to do if you find one of those emails that's come your way. Kalyani, so good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Leanne.
I'm exhausted. Yet another way for a fraudster to take our hard-earned money from us.
Absolutely.
Exactly what is the 419 scam?
Okay, so 419 scam is where the perpetrators will actually send out a communication to a whole host of people. They obviously have people's email addresses. Yes. They even phone people as well, but most often through an email. Send it out saying, look, there's this big opportunity. You've actually won some money. A relative of yours from wherever has received this particular amount of money, and you're going to be getting it, but in order to get it, you need to pay X amount of fee. So they entice you to do a payment to them. So you, at the end of the day now, are so excited about the fact that, gosh, you've just gone on retirement, your wife's gone on retirement, or you've just left one job going into another job, and you've got this lump sum of money that you need to put away. So here's this great opportunity where you don't have to pay X amount of tax, and that you actually can try and safeguard it. So that's how it appears to be. But of course, it's not that at all. It's really about you giving them an amount of money which you're never going to see again. You know, the money is going to be gone completely. So it's really about that kind of thing. And it's so important that in terms of the Financial Intelligence Center Act, they actually compel banks to keep this information about particular people so that they know where you're from and what your address is and that kind of thing, so that the bank gets to know who it is that they're dealing with. So again, you know, having that information is very important, and the bank will send that out to you. But it's really so important that you need to know that when you receive such a communication, it really most often is a scam, and that you need to be worried about it.
But there are people who fall victim to it. What should one do if you receive such an email? Is it worth going to the police, or is it a case of just ignore?
No. So the police are actually very much aware of the fact that there is such a kind of scam that's around, and they actually have created a website which says, you know, FICA, so it's FICA, and you can send it through to them, so it alerts them to the different kinds of scams that they are, so that they then register it and they note it, and they would obviously, if they're able to, and depending how many bits of information they get around it, they'd actually then start doing an investigation. And so that's really why it's important to let them know. Over and above it, if you've already paid out the money, one, your bank already should know about it already, so that they can create this alert around it, so that on an early warning sort of system, they already know what they can alert people beforehand, that if you are going to be paying out, this is what you need to be taking care of, and that this is what it is that they know of.
Let's say you have fallen victim to this scam. Is there any way of retrieving your money back?
The one thing that happens is that the police will investigate the matter. It's got to be an investigation done by the police. So they would do this investigation. They would complete it. They would get to see there is sufficient information here to warrant them going ahead and bringing the person to book. So that's the one thing. The second thing is that if there are monies available in the account, which most often it's unlikely that there are monies available. So if monies are available, they can, of course, put in an order. But at the end of the day, it's all the people that have got all of these monies that needs to be paid out. And there's usually never enough money to be able to pay it out. So it's really very, very serious that most often people are actually victimized in this particular way.
Well, how does one stop yourself from getting these emails? How do you stop them coming through? And do you have any tips on how people can avoid just getting scammed in general?
I think the important thing is that you can call the Financial Services Conduct Authority. You call them and you ask whether a particular company is registered with them. Are they a service provider to do this kind of advice to people, where they would ask for money to be paid over to them so that money can be collected? And you can actually make an inquiry by doing that, but also very important to just let the police know as well. I think it's just important to do that.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Kalyani Pillay,
pleasure.
always giving us the most information. And I think the most important thing is to remember that these criminals never sleep. They work
Not at
day
all.
and night to try and defraud you out of your own hard-earned money. And that's why we're so happy
Absolutely.
to have experts like you just keeping us on our toes.
Sure.
Well, there you have it. Now, cell phones have allowed us to bank anywhere and anytime, constantly on the move. But what dangers are involved, and are we all vulnerable? Well, next week, SABRIC CEO Kalyani Pillay is back in studio where we discuss the dangers of cell phone banking and what we need to do to avoid falling victim to fraud.
We are brave, innovative, everywhere. We are SABRIC.